Today, let us try to understand something about that which possesses the mind very deeply, that is ignorance. Because the whole of Buddha's teachings is nothing but developing and perfecting wisdom, which is the exact opposite of ignorance. The Buddha repeatedly, many times, he said that it is this ignorance which blinds the mind, which obscures even the path. Forget about reaching the goal, but the path itself is already covered. So this ignorance has to be removed. It is like a big curtain. For some people, it is a thick curtain. For some people, it is thin one. For some people, it is like glass which is not clear. And for few people, it is very clear glass. So this ignorance is the cause for all sufferings, all problems, because when this ignorance is there, all other defilements, they come up. In Anguttara Nikaya is one of the sections of Sutta Pitaka. Anguttara means numbered. They are all numbered. Like one, Buddha will say one thing, or there are two, there are threes, fours, fives, up to 11s. In this Anguttara, they are very beautifully organized. So in this Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha says, I do not see any other quality by which unarisen, unwholesome qualities arise, and arisen, unwholesome qualities go to growth and spreading, proliferation. Just as wrong view. Wrong view is another name of ignorance, another quality of ignorance, another manifestation of ignorance. When a person has wrong view, unarisen, unwholesome qualities arise, and arisen, unwholesome qualities grow and proliferate. So it is this ignorance which makes wrong, which creates wrong understanding. And when this ignorance, vichaditi is there, then all other wrong things come, all other unwholesome things come. For example, greed. Greed itself is no doubt a negative quality, but the root of greed is ignorance. When mind doesn't see, say for example, you see something and you feel greedy to eat. There are two things. One is the stuff itself, the material itself may not be suitable for your body, or even if it is suitable, you eat greedily, then you are, at that time, the mind is harmed. But that greed has come because of ignorance. If you have understanding, then you will see that food, you will eat that food nonetheless. You are not going to throw away, you will eat that food. But then, without greed, you savor that food with mind fully calm, understanding the purpose of that food. So then there is no danger. But when you say, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this taste, and then there is no limit, and you eat too much, and then that greed has harmed your body, but more than body, it has harmed the mind. How? That greed which has come up had no control. Why there was no control? Because the danger within that greed is not known. Now that is ignorance. What this greed can create and how this greed can become source of our suffering, that we don't know. And when we don't know, then greed has just freedom to act, freedom to grow, freedom to have control on our mind. So this is ignorance. It is because of ignorance that greed was not recognized. The danger in greed was not recognized. And this ignorance can go even further. It can create views. That is where this wrong views, michaditi, comes. And when it creates views, it becomes tremendously dangerous. For example, with the same greed, not only there is no understanding of the danger of greed, but then the view is created saying to have greed is good. There is nothing wrong to have this greed. So that view is created. Maybe people, your friends, somebody will understand even. They will accept even. Oh, greed is good. So 1%, 2%, 10%, they say, hey, it is good, come on, eat as much as you like, eat. Even if you don't want to eat, they will just push you to eat. And then that greed, which is dangerous, is now considered as okay or even good. So when that is understood like that, it has turned into a view, a wrong view. That is the worst part of it. At least if you know, well, this is greed, it is not good, it is dangerous for my mind, but what can I do? I can't control, let me eat. Then you eat, but you know that it is dangerous. You know that it is dangerous. With that understanding, at least you don't have a wrong view, you have the right view. You know what is dangerous. So creating wrong views makes our mind to stick to those wrong views. And when we are sticking to those wrong views, it is difficult to loosen. We will come to that again. Now, ignorance, the nature of ignorance. What is this nature of ignorance? In Buddha's teachings, everything is defined very, very precisely. So here, this ignorance, which is also called moha or avidya, avidya is avidya, or ajnana, ajnana. This ignorance has characteristic of mental blindness. It creates blindness to the mind. its function is concealment of the real nature of the object. It hides. Concealment is hiding the real nature of the object. For example, take for this anicca itself. Anicca is impermanence. Everything is impermanent. But are you aware of that? How many times you are aware of that? If you get a thing or if you buy a thing, then are you aware that it is going to pass away? How many times you are aware with these objects? It is concealed. At that moment, your mind is totally out of reality. It is concealed. So the function of ignorance is to conceal, hide reality. And how it is manifested? It is manifested as wrong understanding. It is manifested as stupidity, mental darkness. And what is the cause of it? The cause is unwise attention. That is something very, very important. Now, you must be wondering why this ignorance is there. Why it should be there? Can we not remove it? Why do we carry this ignorance? The reason is unwise attention. Ayoniso manasikara. Unwise attention means whatever we encounter, any object, sense objects, or any concepts, or any ideas or ideals, when we come across them, if we are wise, if we pay wise attention, then that ignorance is removed. How is this wise attention is done? The basic reality of everything is impermanence. From the background of impermanence, what is its nature? How changeful it is. You try to understand from that, then you have wise attention. Otherwise, it becomes unwise attention. How much this can bring suffering? Pay attention from the reality of suffering. How much suffering it can create now or in future. Then you are paying wise attention and not unwise attention. And then ultimately you should understand this is condition. It is not unconditioned. This has come into being because of a set of conditions. And when these conditions are not there, this will go. Or when other set of conditions come, this will change into something else and I will lose it. So this is condition. So if you understand from the reality of conditionality, then you are paying wise attention. So have these fundamentals, anicca, dukkha and anatta, fundamentals at the very basic level. Understand them and then take that object or anything, how best you can use it, how best you can benefit yourself and others from it. Then it is okay. Otherwise, ignorance will hold our mind and it will just not allow us to see this reality, and then we build our dreams out of that. Oh, it should be like this, it should be like that. So this is called Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention, wise consideration. Yoniso Manasikara is unwise consideration. So that is the genesis of ignorance. And there is another reason why ignorance can be more solidified, more strengthened. That is hearing from others. Very, very simple. You hear from others or you read from, written by others. An information that comes to you from somebody else. And if it comes from somebody whom you respect, whom you uphold as the authority in this subject or that subject, then the inquiry is less. You don't inquire. Oh, this person has said so, okay, I will take it. It starts at home with the parents. Because parents are the first gurus. They are the first teachers. And they start telling, hey, this is right, this is wrong, this is like this is like that. That is the place where our concepts are solidified, values are solidified, beliefs are solidified, and then ditti, views are solidified. So when they impose, and also having told again and again, we take them and that becomes our own. We accept them, then it becomes our own. Then comes the teachers, and then come the surrounding people, the friends. Then there are so many books. Whatever is written, we think, oh, this must be true because so and so is writing, or such and such magazine is publishing. So many ways of authorizing things, sources. So, when we hear something from these sources, then we don't inquire it deeply. That's why the Buddha was telling inquiry is so important. Dhamma Vichaya, in fact, is a part of enlightenment, investigation into truth. So the Buddha, to change the whole mental makeup and way of thinking, he said, now you start. You start inquiring the Tathagata himself, the Buddha himself. Now why the Buddha is enlightened? There is a sutta itself. The Buddha was kind enough even to tell how to inquire Buddha. Because people are so foolish, if you say, okay, you inquire Buddha, they will not even know how to do that. So the Buddha gave even that method also. How to check, what to check, how to check the conduct, Shila, how to check his meditation, Samadhi, how to check his wisdom. All these things. This is unique. This is very, very special teachings of Buddha. He has to open up, he has to break this ignorance. This shell of ignorance is very strong. It has to be broken. So then, of course, he tells to inquire all other objects. It doesn't mean that we have to just keep on suspecting things, that we don't believe things. It is not like that. We take things We also have our level of understanding, and from our experience, from our understanding, easily we can recognize many things as true, many things as false. There is nothing harm in that. But sometimes, when a question comes, is it really true? Is it really false? Then you have to go to some reliable sources. There are external sources, there are some internal sources. Now, external sources are the teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha who has been expounding and telling about the reality, the real nature. So it is very easy. Okay, go what the Buddha says, what he teaches. Study the suttas, study this Abhidhamma. But ultimate inquiry is yours. They are all just tools. The Buddha has given us tools. And we have to use those tools, and ultimately we have to inquire. The Buddha says there are 5 ways of removing delusion. Now these 5 ways, you will see, they are very interesting. The first one is Shila itself. Observing Shila. Now the question comes, oh, delusion means something to do with mind. What it has got to do with my conduct? Even if I do this or that, if I read something and understand, then my delusion is gone. No, it doesn't happen like that. The observance of Shila is very important because that delusion starts there. Delusion is to understand wrong actions as right and right actions as wrong. So when you start observing Shila, for example, you are not going to kill. When you don't kill, in that moment, when you take that action and you say, no, I am not going to kill, instead I will save it. What benefit it will give to yourself, you will experience. If you kill, what happens? That also you will experience. So when you observe Shila, then you know what is wholesome and what is unwholesome at your own experiential level. It is not intellectual level. When we are discussing about ignorance and wisdom, remember, it has nothing to do with just dry intellectual knowledge. We have to experience actions. Whole day we are doing physical actions and verbal actions. If we are harmful, if we are stealing or cheating or committing sexual misconduct or drinking or anything that is bodily harmful action, then watch it and you see that it brings suffering. It brings disturbance in the mind. It is not bringing peace of mind. Even if you take drugs and think that is going to bring some peace of mind, you will see that it brings only delusion. It creates such strong delusion. And once you are out of that intoxication, the mind is full of turmoil. It becomes even worse, even more disturbed, and most of all, it becomes very weak. then it cannot even take decisions. That weakness will become so strong, that weakness will develop and develop. You will not be able to take even a simple decision. Now should I go there or not? Even that becomes a big problem. Now should I sit and read something or not? That becomes a big problem. Even such simple decisions one cannot take. So the mind becomes blinded with ignorance, strengthened with ignorance. So the Shila, when you start following Shila, already the outer shells of ignorance are loosened and removed. Then second tool the Buddha gives is Bahusutta. That is, we have to study the Dhamma deeply. We have to learn Dhamma. There are hundreds and thousands of teachings of Buddha. Read at least one gatha every day. Read at least one sutta every day. Learn and learn and learn. So when we hear it again and again, our mind starts opening up. It will start thinking. At least it will start looking from another angle, from what we hold. So that is Bahusutta. We are fortunate that we have the Dhamma available. We have hundreds of books. So many books we have. You open any book, they are available here, and many of them are even for free. We are fortunate that we have this program, this Dhamma teaching program. And we are fortunate there are so many monks to discuss. You can come and ask questions. And there are so many upasakas who are also able to answer. So like that, somehow we have to learn. There is no shortcut. We have to put some effort and take trouble to learn the Dhamma. And Dhamma Sakacha, the third one is Dhamma Sakacha, discussion about Dhamma. What are you talking with your friends or with your relatives or at home or with anybody? Are you discussing Dhamma? Question yourself. If not, now do that. If you are talking, say with your family members, don't take it for granted. Oh, this is my family member. Just I can blur out some words and I can talk anything and everything. No. Talk something. You always think, okay, now what is the Dhamma I can talk? What is the Dhamma that benefits that person and me? No need that you have to take a page from a book and then start discussing. Not necessary. If you have to do some work, if you are discussing about some day-to-day, very simple affair, then connect it to Dhamma. Say you want to buy something. You have to buy vegetables. And okay, people are complaining, oh, vegetables are very expensive and this and that, the government is bad and all these things. That is one part. Okay, we talk how can we get the best vegetables and nutritious vegetables. Say, okay, what is good for health? What is good for mind? What is this food? Start relating how better I can eat without greed. How much is really the need of the body. Just if you take that food itself, you can bring Dhamma into it very easily. So then have that food, nothing wrong. You can have the tasty food, there is nothing wrong with it. And when you are cooking, of course you are cooking with lot of love. Nothing wrong with it. But also understand, let me eat this tasty food. eat as much as I need, not with greed. That is important point. So you can change or you can introduce Dhammasakacha with small things and make it, then you make it the main subject of your understanding. We see that with our Bhanteji. Bhanteji, you open your mouth, you say one word and it will start from this side. Dhamma will flow, everything immediately will connect to Chittas and Chetasikas and Kushala and Akushala and how it helps one's life and others' lives and how to preserve Buddha's teachings, Buddha's asana. That's it. The whole thing, everything is changed. Not one word is useless, just gossip. No. It is possible, we can do that. So, Dhamma Sakacha, that makes to think, pay attention, all the time pay attention to wholesome, unwholesome, wholesome, unwholesome. Then mind is not in ignorance. That is Yoniso Manasikara, wise consideration. Then Buddha says, the fourth tool he gives is meditation. Now meditate, develop concentration, develop this samadhi. And when you develop samadhi means you develop your effort, mindfulness, concentration. Samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi. These three are called samadhi. So they are strengthened. So that when you strengthen that, you will understand things more deeper. You sit down, the first reality you understand is, well, mind is so fluctuating. Mind is not stable. The very first nature of the mind. So important to understand. Mind is wandering. That is the reality, you understand. So from that understanding it goes on and you will see what are the things which confuse the mind, which distract the mind, where this anger comes, jealousy comes, greed comes. So you know you can catch at that moment. So that samadhi will remove all that ignorance. Then the fifth one is of course panya, insight, vipassana panya, where you explore everything in their ultimate sense of anicca, dukkha and anatta. So this is how we have to overcome ignorance, this delusion. Otherwise it will turn into michaditi, and michaditi is even more dangerous, as I told you earlier. Ditthis are some views that we build up and hold on to them. We build a view out of ignorance and we hold on to them. There are views which say violence is good. They hold on to those views. There are views that cheating is good. We hear day and night. Like that. There is a view, we will say, okay, today I will do meditation tomorrow. If I leave it today, nothing will happen. So we have created our own view and we harm ourselves. We compromise, we say, well, okay, it is okay for me if I don't do it today. Isn't it? So if that view becomes stronger, then you will say, oh, maybe when I will get time, maybe when I get say 10 days time, 20 days time, I will do intensively. Now I am not bothered about it. So even for practice of Dhamma, we create our own views to escape from the work. Isn't it? So like that, these views are created. And then another aspect of delusion is fear, insecurity. We don't know what is there in front of us, then how will you know what is going to come later on in the future? So fear of future, uncertainty is all the time there. Once Ananda Bhante, a very wonderful enlightened Upasaka, he went to some sadhus. There were some sadhus sitting, and he went to them and he exchanged greetings, and after sitting, these sadhus asked, "Hey Ananda Bhante, you are disciple of Gautama Buddha, so what is the view he holds?" Then Ananda Bhante said, "Well, I can't say what Buddha holds as their views. I don't know." Then they said, "Well, if you don't know what Gautama holds, then what about the views of the monks, the disciples of Buddha?" Then he said, "Oh, I don't know that also." Then they said, "Well, you don't know about Gautama Buddha, you don't know about their monks, then well, what is the view you hold?" Then he said, "Yes, that I know, what kind of views I hold. But sirs, before I tell you what are my views, may I ask you what are your views?" Then one sadhu said, "Well, I hold a view that the world is eternal." And another sadhu said, "No, world is not eternal." Another sadhu said, "The world is finite, it has limit." And another said it is infinite, endless. It is something very interesting. One person was walking and walking and walking. He was asked, "Hey, why are you walking? Where are you walking?" He said, "I am going to find the end of the world, so I am walking." So even such people were there. They wanted to find the end of the world. And another sadhu said, there is soul and there is body, and they are different. And one sadhu said, "No, the soul and the body are the one and the same." And another one said, "Oh, I hold the view that Tathagatas don't exist after death." Another said, no, Tathagatas exist after death." So like that, they told. And then they asked, "Well, Ananda Bhante, what is your view?" So Ananda Bhante said, "As for the venerables who say the world is eternal, only this is true, everything is false. When some view you hold, you have to hold something and you have to negate something. Only this is true and everything is false. So regarding this, I say that it arises from unwise attention, and it is dependent on the words of others. Either it is unwise attention, you have not given proper attention to this fact, or you have heard from somebody and now you are also holding that view and repeating. This view has been brought into being, it is fabricated, it is will, it is dependently arisen. And whatever has come into being and fabricated and willed and dependently arisen, that is changeful. It cannot be constant. It is inconstant. And whatever is inconstant, whatever is changeful, that creates suffering because it will change, it will go away. You want to hold it and it goes away. And whatever is inconstant and whatever is conducive for suffering, that we cannot say this is I, this is mine, this is myself. So, Venerables, this is the view I hold about everything he said. And when this was said, these others didn't have anything to answer, they just put their heads down. So, these views, when they are not seen from the viewpoint of reality, then it becomes that they create fear and insecurity in us. Whatever wrong view you hold, it creates fear. If you understand the truth, well, I am born, conditionally arisen, I am living, conditionally supported, I am becoming old, that is the nature of this body. Again, conditions. And I will die because of certain conditions. So when this reality is understood, then we will not have fear. Fear of death or fear of existence now. Or fear of existence after death. The big problem is afterwards. People are very, very inquisitive of knowing afterwards. People want to go to astrologer and they ask, oh astrologer, please tell me what will happen, what will not happen. Will I be successful, will I not be successful? Filled with ignorance and filled with greed and filled with fear. They don't have conviction or they don't have confidence on themselves or on the Dhamma, on the reality. Instead, they want to depend on some external, they want somebody to predict their future. Just you watch the mind, what kind of mind it is. It is mind of insecurity, mind full of fear, mind full of no confidence. If you have confidence in yourself, your goodness, your conduct, your Dhamma practice, your understanding, you don't need to worry about anything. Practice Shila, do good things. Automatically it will start yielding results, good results, no doubt about that. Practice Samadhi, meditation, Panya, wisdom. So why should we worry about finding out our future? We ourselves are creators of our future. We know what will happen. If I am cruel, if I am greedy, we can know what result it will bring. So this insecurity, this delusion makes people to run after astrologers. So now if you open a company, astrology company, don't worry, it will run successfully. You can make a lot of money. Because people are becoming more stupid. It was thought with modern education, science and technology and all these things, people will become more open-minded. But in 200 years, people are becoming more close-minded, more fanatics, more caste-minded, more close-minded. What is this? That ignorance is just playing other games. Of course, science has helped to some extent. But even some scientists also, they fall into this ignorance. They also are afraid what will happen, what will not happen. So, then they will start asking for predictions. Oh, please tell me. And if they find some dream, okay, maybe this is going to be true, that is going to be true. If something falls down, or this means a flower falls down, and they think, oh, it is auspicious, it is inauspicious. I long time back, a small book, it was called Panchanga or something. So there it was given a list. If a lizard falls on your shoulder, this will happen. If it falls on your head, this will happen. It was so funny to read all kinds of insects and this and that. So many things. And after telling this, people project it in such a way that it acquires the status of some reality. People start believing, and here and there some coincidence will keep happening, and then they will strengthen it, and then finished. The mind is totally slavish. It becomes slavish. So then you cannot think independently. That courage is gone, only fear is there. That's all. The one Upasaka of Achancha, Achancha was a very great Thai teacher, enlightened Arahant teacher. He passed away. Many of his books are here. I was reading. Achancha, one Upasaka went to him, oh Bhante, you are so great. Please read my palm and please tell me my future. He said, no, Upasaka, I don't tell all those things. Then he said, oh Bhante, I am serving you for so many years. I am giving you dana. I am taking you here and there in my car. Please. So day after day, he was pestering Achancha. And then one day Achancha said, well, I will see your palm now. It is not done by any monk, it is not allowed for monks to do, but as a special case I am going to see your palm. Give me your palm. And then he took his palm and he just went through his fingers, this, oh, this is this, oh, this is like that, oh, that is so, good, like that. And then after that, okay, I have seen your palm. Then he said, oh, Bhante, what is my future? Then he said, my dear Upasaka, it is uncertain. That is your future. That's all. That is the truth. That is the truth. It is uncertain. That is the truth. So, the basic reality is we don't understand and we run after other things. There was another man, this man was fond of his dreams. He was fond of his dreams. So whatever dreams came, he wanted some interpretation. So he was thinking, oh, today something bad may happen. If he sees some good dreams, he will think, oh, a big lottery I am going to get. So one day he saw five angels coming into his dream. And each angel was telling, oh, you are so great, you are lucky, you are this, you are that, something like that. And when he got up early morning with this wonderful dream, he was so happy. And he went to his wife, and his wife had kept 5 pieces of idlis. And then he thought, well, 5 angels and now I see 5 idlis. Something must be there. So wonderful. Then he sat down nicely and he opened a newspaper. On the front page it was written something very nice, your luck will be opened. Open the page number 5. Again he said, well, 5th page. Okay. Opened the 5th page and there's some advertisement, some commercial stuff. And then his mind went to a part of the news which said that day there was a horse race, and then he saw there was a horse called 5 angels. And 5 angels, suddenly he became alert. Today I had 5 angels dream, so now there is some 5 angels here. So he started reading, and that was in the 5th race. 5 angels in 5th race, today something is going to happen for me. And then he thought, well, I have to do something is happening, everything is coming so nicely together. Then he thought, well, if I bet on these 5 angels, how nice it will be. Then he applied leave afternoon, and he went to the race, and he went to this this counter, 5th counter, where he wanted to bet just 100 rupees, and then no, today is my day of luck, so I have to bet more. So 1,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. No, it has to be 50,000 rupees. So he placed 50,000 rupees on bet. And then he went and sat nicely wishing and praying, oh, my 5 angels is going to win. And the race started. And that 5 angels was going forward, and he was so sure. And he started jumping and jumping. But by the time the race was finished, his 5 angels was at the 5th place. It came 5th. And then he was heartbroken. And he said, well, my dream did not go wrong anyway. But I didn't understand. So these 5 angels brought him biggest misluck. He missed his luck and lost his 50,000 rupees. So now these things happen with our dreams, our beliefs, our expectations. So wisdom is to pay attention. What is there now? What happened to somebody else? What happened in the past has nothing to do. We have to pay attention now. We have to see what is cause, conditions, the reality, with the backdrop of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you are safe. Otherwise, delusion will increase. So I took up this subject because yesterday somebody asked to tell something about delusion. We will conclude here. Time is up.